It's almost 20 years ago when we started looking, even well before we could afford to have a retreat place, but it was just a strong value to have a place and a strong interest. And then over the years, off and on, we'd have energy, we'd look. And then about 7 years ago, we got a little bit more serious, and we organized a group of leaders who were involved at Common Ground who were also interested in this vision. And as private individuals together as a group, we started to look, kind of combine resources, and thought, well, maybe together we can buy something and make it available for the community. When we saw it and we saw the unique features of the building and the beautiful land that's all protected behind, that's the right combination of open fields and mature woods, topography where there's some views, but some more hidden places that will be ideal for people to go out and practice, or to put platforms so people can have tents up or cabins up in the woods. It just really stood out. And just the drive to this place is very tranquil. This was a very affordable place for the community to buy, where we didn't have to take out a mortgage. Now we still need to develop the place, but it can stay in this very simple format until the money comes. There's just something very simple about the energy of the general area and the building and the land itself. And so I just encourage people to come out and experience that, to ask questions, to really see how this place can really help your life to be a happier, wiser, more loving human being. I mean, that's really the purpose of the place, is in this most direct, functional way to help us be better people. When we're on retreat alone, we're in that space, we've got the woods and the open fields in our own private room. It's like a really powerful experience, both beautiful and challenging. So not just idealistically, we might think of, oh, that would be so peaceful. It's not always peaceful, it's sometimes very intense. The kind of conditioned habits of mind that can arise, loneliness, for example, or just neurotic restlessness, always looking for something to do when we don't really need to do anything. But all that is so good to see. Cities, in a way, just the busyness of our lives and our duties and responsibilities, they're kind of the outer manifestation for what's going on in our mind all the time. And when we get out in nature and see the open sky, and see plants and animals, and just a little less of the human civilization, it really affects how the mind is. The mind has a better, clearer sense of its more simple, unconstructed nature. We have volunteers who have already stepped forward, say they want to build something, so then we'll say, this is what we want you to build. So there's going to be a lot of these kinds of projects, everything from winterizing the building to small projects like the sauna, to coming to work days. Gail Iverson, one of our longtime leaders, is considering having some retreats around getting the garden started in the spring, doing some of the prep work and the initial planting, and then having a series of meditation gardening retreats through the growing season. Nothing's really going to happen unless not only the volunteering, but the money has to flow too. So we always had this vision at Common Ground that we don't really take on projects unless there's money for the project. So what this place becomes will really be determined by the community and how they respond, both in terms of the energy and skills that they have to come out here, but also in terms of the money that gets contributed. Recently, after a Wednesday night talk, a woman came forward and said, I'd really like to sponsor a cabin for the retreat property and make it as a memorial for my mom and dad who've passed away. And so these sort of spontaneous moments of generosity, it's what's going to make the septic system get improved and a new bathroom put in and a new cabin built. So little gifts, big gifts, those will get translated into making the space more functional for people to come out and do their practice. There's both this great wave of gratitude and appreciation and excitement, real like, oh, it's going to be so great to pour our heart in. And also a very deep sense of respect for the kind of work and how much it's going to be good practice. There's just a lot of rubbing and scrubbing with different ideas and how we come to consensus around ideas and how we learn to listen to each other, how we see the different ways that we're excluding people that we were not aware of. So there's going to be a lot of learning, and sometimes that learning is really not pleasant, but it's really good. And so I'm sort of respectful and maybe even at times a little intimidated by the challenge of trying to create a retreat property that can live for a long time and benefit a lot of people.